Good evening, everyone. My name is Alejandro, and today I will try to answer a question about how to set the race strategy for marathon. In this case, I will put on the table a real case that I had this year in the beginning of, sorry, at the end of June with one of my athletes, and I want to be clear in this point. This is no periodization presentation or training methodology presentation. It's just about how to set uh, the correct pace for marathon and the way that you had to think in the moment to create your own strategy. Yes, it's just an idea. You can use many other points of view. This is the way that I prepare the long distance races for my athletes. Yes. The first point that you have to keep in mind that my primary idea is that all my athletes have to get this running form. When I speak about running form and talking about the good form, the good picture of the runner. Yes, no matter the age, the gender, the experience, whatever. All my athletes at the end of the process have to get this running form. I am talking about, for instance, the triple extension, the triple flexion, the chest pose to the butt flat, the correct balance between the movement of the shoulders and arms, um, face relaxing, etc., etc., etc. All the elements that help you to have a more efficient technique in the moment of race. Yes, I will repeat, all my training process start with this primary idea, to get a correct running form. Keeping this in mind, I will show you two of the main coaches that I have been reading and working with the ideas for many, many, many years. I say my indirect mentors. I work with many other ideas, in touch with other coaches, but in general, my foundation ATMs come from these two men, Frank Hoven and Sebastian Coe. From Sebastian Coe, he's part of this old book, but very interesting book. Its name's Better Training for Distance Runners. In this book, develop all the biomechanic, bioenergetic, and all demand for many different distance from 800 kilometers up to marathon races. It's very interesting because it's one of the first book that start to speak about 5 different spaces in base of Frank Hoven ideas to building up a correct running pace. From this book, I got this idea, the 2% principle. Um, if you can read here on the bottom the legend, this graphic show 3 different races in 1984, 1985, and 1987 from, sorry for the name, Takeshuki Nakayama. Sorry. I was investigating in the old data from the Olympic Games. He was one of the most successful marathoners and mile runners in the late 80s. And this graph try to show to all of us that you can split the marathon race in 5 kilometers, yes, in different moments of the race. And this rule try to explain first that it's a good strategy to divide the race in 5 kilometer section because you have better control about your running pace. Second point, the runner has between 2% to 2.5% margin to run slower or faster than the average pace that he is looking for. That means that you can run. In this case, that was the most successful rate that Nakashima did. 2 or 2.5% faster than the average pace every 5 kilometers, or 2 or 2.5% slower than the 5 kilometers average split. Yes, as you can see here, and the graphic tried to show to all of us that when he was faster than or adult of 2% margin for race in a part of I don't 10, 15, 20, 25 in the kilometer 30, he tried to run faster than the 2%. At the end, he started to lose efficiency and lose speed for the race. He finished first in that race with 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yes. The next year, he did 2 hours, 8 minutes, 15 seconds. And as you can see here, he followed that strategy. That means that he ran every section, yes, of 5 kilometers, between 2% faster, 2% slower than the average 5 kilometers pace. In this moment, he did 2 hours and 8 minutes, 15 seconds, and he got the second place in the race. 2 years after that, yes, 2 years after that race, he tried to change the strategy, yes, running faster from the beginning, faster than the 2%, faster than the 2%, and at the end, he had to pay this fast pace with lower pace. That means that anything outside this range is always a pay for sooner or later. That I try to say to all of you that if you have in mind that you will split your marathon race in 5 kilometers, just sections, and you know that you can run depending, and I don't know, the altitude, depending the wind, depending the path of the runner, etc., etc., etc. You had to try, yes, to follow this 2% rule. Why? Because it's the most effective way to get a flat pace, yes, and have a balanced use of your energy. That means you will be more efficient at the end, and that means you will have a better race. Yes, if not, can happen this. Well, from this book, I got this first important idea under my point of view. From this second book, Obsession for Run, I have just a few pages because it's very complicated to find the original book. I have many articles from Frank Horwin, but not the original book. I got this idea, the 4 and 5 second rule. It's very well known, this rule. Basically say that when you go up in distance from 800 kilometers to a mile race, from the mile race to 3 kilometers race, 5 kilometers race, 10 kilometers race, half marathon race, and marathon race, you had to add every 400 meters 4 seconds if you are a mile, and for male have to add 5 seconds. In this case, this is my student Renzo. Renzo comes from a very, very long aerobic foundation. We're talking about almost 5 years working in a very good aerobic foundation. He did a time trial 5 kilometers. In this case was after race, but we did 10 kilometer time trial, 21 kilometers time trial, and 5 kilometers time trial, more or less with the qual pace. As you can see, in 5 kilometers, he did 17 minutes and 8 seconds, 92 cents. That means a pace of 3 minutes, 26 seconds every kilometer. Sorry, I'm speaking kilometers and not in miles because I am Latin and I use the metric system. And here you can see the different spaces of the 5 kilometers time trial. That means that in this pace calculator or time of races calculator, I fill out this time in this calculator, and the predict time for the marathon race is 2 hours 45 minutes and 42 seconds. Yes, and at the same time I can get different spaces. That means, yes, that my goal for the race 3 minutes 56 seconds every kilometer. With this point in mind, now, and knowing that I have 2% above or below of the 5 kilometers segment in the race to play, yes, to go faster or slower, I have to create the strategy for the race now. What was the result? Yes, with 2 main ideas. I will repeat, with these 2 main ideas. In the beginning, with ChatGPT, I create a chart of paces in case of something wrong happen. Yes, between these 2 final times were our goal. The worst time that we can get in the race was this time. Yes, that means that every 5 kilometers we have to pass more or less in these times. Yes, total time. And at the end, we will finish running in 3 minutes 57 kilometers, more or less. Yes. And I said to myself, okay, I need now a range of 2% or 2.5% above or below to have a clear idea how fast or how slow we can run. For that, with ChatGPT 2, I create this chart. Yes, that means, for instance, for 5 kilometers in 19 minutes 67 seconds, if I had to run 2.5% slower, is equal to 20 minutes 16 seconds. And if I had to run 19 minutes 18 seconds, that means 2.5% faster than the original time. Yes, and it's equal for all the segments here. That means I have a clear strategy and clear numbers that we can play during the race. And all of this is a range of 2.5%. What's happening in the real life? He finished the race. Yes, Enzo finished the race in 2 hours 46 minutes. That means a pace of 3 minutes 55 seconds. he got the third place under Churchy and the first place under 23 23 years because he is 21 at the present moment. That race was 2 months ago, more or less, almost 2 months ago. Let's take a closer look about the race. The first number that we have to see, to study is the average pace. The average pace was 3 minutes 55 seconds, better than the original time that we was planning. The normal gradient pace, that means it's equal, or that number comes from cutting the extremes, you know, the higher pattern and slower paces, and try to think a race like a flat pace. Was 3 minutes 54. An important metric that I was following is, in this case, because he ran with a power meter, yes, in his shoes. But this is other topic. We're talking about power meters in other presentation. But the power head race is the difference between the average head rate that you had in all the race and how high or low the draft of this head rate is during the race. And the deviation between the average pace and the final head rate average is 1% 42. This is very important because every long workout in zone 2, for instance, doesn't have to have more than 5% of draft. Yes. And here in 42 kilometers in a race situation was just 1% and 42. That means that we did very well the aerobic foundation. I am very happy for that. Look, this is the first 21 kilometers. Yes, it's all the laps. As you can see here, is 1 kilometers. The time of movement. This is important. The average pace in every kilometer and the maximum pace, but we will put focus in this column. Yes. If we can get the average pace of these 21 different spaces, or each 1 kilometer, the average pace was 3 minutes 56 seconds per kilometer. And the normal gradient pace was, that is this column, 3 minutes and 55 seconds, just 1 second of difference. That means that the race was very flat, and that is true. And the second one point is he was very, 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 very consistent in the race. Yes. Now let's take a closer look to the second half of the race, from kilometer number 22 up to the end of the race. Yes. If you take a closer look of the average pace, you will get 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Why? I can explain this because in these last kilometers, as you can see, the last 2 kilometers was with pendant. Yes, the pendant was negative. That means you are able to run faster than the normal because the gradient is in your favor the last 2 kilometers. This is why he closed the last 2 paces faster than the average pace. And this is why the final average pace gave to us 3 minutes and 52 seconds. And this is a very interesting point because the normal gradient pace was 3 minutes and 52 seconds too. That means, and helped to, I don't remember if I said that was his first marathon. ever. Was the same pace. That means that the last part of the race was very, very, very flat. This is the total race, yes? 2 hours, 46 seconds, 36 minutes, yes, for this distance. You can see here that the pace, this is the heart rate and this is the pace, was very regular, yes? Here was a funny situation because he said to me, Ale, I need to do a piece. And I said, okay, Renzo, do it and come back quickly to the race. This is why here the pace was 0. And suddenly when he finished to this his business, he has to run very fast to get the runners back in front of him. This is why here the pace is very fast and then normalize again. Yes. And at the end, that the gradient of the race was in this direction. Yes, was negative. This is why he couldn't accelerate the pace in this point, in this part of the race. Here you have separate the pace and the heart rate and the average heart rate here. The maximum heart rate was 183, but the average pace was around 168. And the maximum pace was 3 minutes 15 seconds, but the average pace for all the race, yes, was 3 minutes 55 seconds. I want to say that I am very happy for this result because show Renzo, and show all the parents community and the athletes community that when you work in a consistency way, everything is possible. Yes. Thank you very much. I try to be the more, I try to be clear in this presentation, the way that you can create your own strategy for a marathon race. You can follow me in my website, agtraining.com, where you can find different training articles, podcasts, BioFit service, different biomechanics service about relationship with swimming, running, and bike. You can follow me in Instagram, where I try to upload all the time different information and different video and try to answer many questions. And you can follow me too in Spotify, where you can find my podcast in Spanish and English too. I start to record more podcasts in English now. And I just want to say thank you very much. That was the final of the race. We were very happy because the result was better than we was hoping. See you. Thank you very much again. And remember, any question that you have for me, I will try to answer with a small video, with a podcast, with an article, or face-to-face. See you. Enjoy your training process. Bye.